How you guys doing today? This is an extremely different video today, as in the fact that we're talking about Jak's voice, the story of Jak 4, and why I think Josh Keaton would be the best option for the scenario I'm about to give you. So, if we do get Jak 4, it's likely it'll be the conclusion to the series, and we'll see an older Jak now, since when Jak X ends, Jak is around 19 years old, and it's likely that the story would have time hop by 10 plus years. Let's say Haven City was rebuilt, and the city was peaceful, and Jak was the leader of Haven City. He was entitled by birthrights to be the king. And then let's say the rift gates from a different world opens up, because we know it's possible. Remember that gates that open for the PlayStation 3 Classic where Jak, Sly, and Ratchet was pulled into one world? We know, thanks to the precursors, that there are other worlds being destroyed by the Dark Makers. So what if the precursors opened a rift gate for Jak and asked him to save the world? They did say they had many more adventures for Jak to come in the future. So what if what they meant is Jak saving other valuable worlds, and that the concept arts we saw for Jak 4 all those years ago was what Naughty Dog had planned for the future of the series? That would have meant Jak would be older, calmer, and more of a jerk than he already was. So Josh Keaton, who is Jak's most recent voice actor in both The Last Frontier and PlayStation Battle Royale, which was Jak's last adventure in the year 2012, but I feel like the biggest mistake made is Josh decided to make up a new voice for Jak when he should have used the voice he used for Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 3. Take a listen real quick.
That's it! That's the stance! I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume.
Now you can't tell me an older Jak wouldn't sound cool with that voice. Imagine Jak looking like this, running around with that voice. So Josh Keaton in this scenario would be the best option, because as you get older, your voice gets deeper and loses a lot of pitch. So if Jak was like 30 years old, then the Josh Keaton Ocelot voice would be really cool on Jak, and it would give us a higher chance at a sequel, since Naughty Dog would be able to take a little more realistic approach. I'm not saying Uncharted kind of real, but maybe Fortnite, possibly Borderlands, or most likely Breath of the Wild's art style, because it would flow the best and look the best for Jak 4 on the Sony PlayStation 4 upscaled, dynamic, not exactly 4K resolution. Am I right or am I wrong? It would look really cool. Just imagine Breath of the Wild with Jak. I'm sure there's gonna be mods at some point for Breath of the Wild to put Jak inside the game so we can actually see what it would look like. But hey, it would look cool, wouldn't it? Anyways, that's just my opinion based on what we know and what Jak 4's story could be given the info we have, that it could be Josh Keaton voicing Jak. It would be weird at first, but we get used to it since we probably play the game like crazy and played it 100% over and over, just like we did Jak 2 and 3. Jak will at some point make a comeback, and most likely with a new voice. Look at God of War. Kratos got a new voice and a soft reboot, so why can't Jak do the same? I'm not saying that God of War is bad, because it obviously isn't, but the only difference between Jak and Kratos in the early 2000s, Jak was a console seller and a world record holder, and Kratos was not. Same with PlayStation 3. Jak was used to sell the PlayStation Move, which evolved into the PlayStation VR, so if Kratos can get a reboot for its fourth game, then Jak can too, since Jak was a huge part of the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and pop culture in general. But let's be fair, it is a billion times better for Josh Keaton to play Jak than casting a trash, D-list actor like Kiefer Sutherland, who played Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5, instead of Big Boss playing Big Boss, David Hayter will always be the one true Big Boss, and Kiefer Sutherland will always be the Jak and Daxter, the lost frontier of the Metal Gear Solid universe. With that being said, listen to this.
This is what I was made to do. Where I go, death follows. They took my memories, my freedom. They turned me into a weapon. I'm not anybody's weapon anymore.
Are you sure about this?
Wait!
I knew I should have done this on my own.
So that's the way it is.
Be prepared to kill me.
9 years ago, I thought everything had been taken from me. And now I really have lost it all. Big Boss can go to hell.
I'm Big Boss. And you are too. No. He's the two of us together. Where we are today, we built it. This story, this legend, it's ours. We can change the world and with it the future. I am you and you are me. Carry that with you wherever you go. Thank you, my friend. From here on out, you're Big Boss.